Hey witches, welcome to Busy, Gritty, Inked and Witchy, a magical living podcast for the busy witch. I'm Morgan, eclectic witch of almost 25 years, Avalon priestess, and busy witch. Here we'll talk all things witchy, from current metaphysical happenings to my busy witch tips and tricks, and everything in the in-between. This podcast is my personal journey, filled with my knowledge, opinions, and unique way of looking at the world. Join me as I weave the magical and the mundane in every episode. Hey witches, welcome back to Busy, Gritty, Inked and Witchy. I'm Morgan, and today we are talking about daily magic. Daily magic is my jam. I am a busy witch. So rather than performing huge rituals and spells, I prefer to do little things each day that help me tap into magic and tap into the energetic flow of everything around me. I do rituals and big ol' spells when the need arises, but for the most part, my goal, especially for the last few years, but my journey in witchcraft has been less of the bigger, huge rituals that I just don't really have time for, and more of just incorporating magic into my everyday life. And that's what I've really been working on. That's really the message that I like to spread and to teach people is busy witch magic, or how to just incorporate little magical practices into your everyday life so you're just tapping into that flow. So today's episode will have correspondences for each day, as well as easy magical practices that I do each day. And I'm limiting it to 5. I could go on forever for this topic, but in order to keep the episode around 30 minutes, I figured 5 would be a really good starting point for my daily magical practices. Now, I did run over some of these correspondences all the way back at episode 5, you guys, which was called My Busy Witch Magic. Episode 5. This is technically episode 122. I had to look at my notebook. 122. So it's definitely time for an update and expansion, especially considering that this first part, which I'm going to jump right into the energies of each day, this is something I really incorporate and I really practice. In fact, I did not even have to look up any notes for the daily correspondences. It's something that's just seared into my memory now, because this is the bulk of my daily magic practice, is matching my energies with the energy of the day, or making sure that I'm tapping into that day's energy. Okay. So the first thing that I try to do every single day is either wear clothing or accessories that align with that day's energy. I also try to perform actions in that day that align with the day's energy, and I will explain all of that. So each day has a planetary ruler, a color that's associated with it, or colors, and energies and magical practices that are just aligned with that day's energy because of the planet. So if you can schedule things for certain days, or if you can perform certain magical acts, no matter how small, on certain days, it's almost like them having a power boost, because that day is associated with that energy and you're performing that action for that day. So to do a rundown, Sunday is ruled by the sun. It's very divine masculine. So if you have any kind of deities who are male that you like to work with, Sunday would be a great day to do that. The colors are yellow and orange. And then the energies for Sunday are having fun, enjoying life, celebrating, vitality, anything that renews your spirit, any kind of self-care that gets your body moving. All of that is really good for Sundays. So even if you just want to practice self-care, even though Fridays tend to be a self-care day as well, but if you want to like get outside and move your body and give gratitude and really just appreciate life, Sunday is a great day to do that. And then if you want to either wear clothing or accessories, so jewelry, earrings, if you have pair eyewear like I do, I will match my toppers to my glasses for the day's energy as well. Or you could even just wear colored underwear that is associated with that day. But Sundays are yellow and orange. Monday is ruled by the moon. So its colors are usually silver and white. I also associate lavender with Mondays. It is highly divine feminine in nature. So if you have any goddesses that you work with, especially moon goddesses, Mondays are a great day to just light an extra candle for them or leave them an extra offering. And because it's associated with the moon, psychic abilities and moon magic, great for doing so. You can perform divination on that day. And if you're a person who, for example, pulls a tarot or oracle card every day to see the day's energy, then you could do like extra stuff on a Monday, like maybe deep dive into the week's energy for like the whole week or the whole month or something like that. Tuesdays are ruled by the planet Mars. And so that color is red. And the energies for Tuesday or Mars are strength, courage, and protection. So anything for Tuesdays, if you want to kind of take a leap of faith, if you want to do anything that pushes you out of your comfort zone, maybe have a little bit of fun, take a few risks. Those are all things that are great for Tuesdays. Wednesday is ruled by the planet Mercury. So the colors associated with it are yellow and blue. And Mercury is the planet of communication and knowledge. So anything that you have to do, like if you want to build knowledge, maybe take a class on Wednesdays or amp up your studying on Wednesdays if you're a student. If you notice, the podcast is always released on Wednesdays. That is on purpose because Wednesdays are associated with the communication. And then me personally, I tend to schedule my meetings with other people for Wednesdays because of that communication aspect. I definitely want to make sure that communication is open and flowing freely between me and the people that I work with. So if I'm scheduling meetings, I want to make sure we're all communicating effectively. And generally speaking, I will do that for Wednesdays. Thursdays are ruled by the planet Jupiter. So the colors are green and blue, and that's your money day, guys. Okay, so any kind of abundance, rituals, spells, money drawing spells, anything having to do with your career advancement, and success. So all of that has to do with Jupiter and has to do with Thursday. So that would be the day, maybe put a little bit more of a boost to your money drawing candle or rearrange your money altar or pay your bills. Or if you're looking for a new job, maybe really amp up the job search on Thursdays. Okay. Fridays are ruled by the planet Venus. So the colors are usually pink or aqua. And this is your day of love. This is your day of self-love, friendship, beauty, and self-care. So if you've had a long week and all you want to do is take an amazingly relaxing bath, get your week behind you, add some rose petals to it or some rose oil or rose scented bath salts or something like that, that just further taps into that energy. Go hang out with your friends on a Friday night. That will amp up the friendship energy. Practice some self-love. Have some alone time with yourself or with a loved one. These are all the energies associated with Friday. And then Saturday is ruled by Saturn. Its color is black. And this is the day for banishings, cleansings, self-discipline, and strong protection. Okay, so for Saturdays, I will say this. I tend to reverse Saturdays and Sundays, but it's just because of my own energetic flow. So generally speaking, I work Monday through Friday, and then I schedule Ink Spirit Coven meetings for Sundays because that was what aligned with a lot of the members' schedules. Okay. So Saturdays tend to be my day to just relax, chill the fuck out, zone out. Colin and I may go watch a movie, or I will zone out playing video games for the whole day. Saturday tends to be my lazy day. And then Sunday, I'll get up, whether or not I'm teaching Ink Spirit. I will either get up, get dressed, go to work, teach an Ink Spirit lesson, and then I kind of stay motivated after that, maybe run some errands or do grocery shopping, things like that. Or I will, if I don't have an Ink Spirit lesson, it still tends to be the day where I was lazy all day Saturday. And so Sunday I wake up a little bit more motivated. So I might plan out my week coming up, or journal, or look to my studies, catching up on something that I want to learn about, or, anything like that. So I tend to actually have those two reversed, whereas my self-discipline tends to really go on to Sunday, and my enjoying life and just saying to hell with it tends to be Saturday. But that's just because of my schedule and my energetic flow. But Saturdays would also be a good day maybe to evaluate the week that you had. Where were your ups? Where were your downs? And then plan for the next week. Say, okay, next week, I want to do this differently. I want to do that differently. Maybe planning out a workout routine for the next week. These are ways you can incorporate the self-discipline aspect. And then again, cleansing, banishing. So if you just want to fucking get rid of that week, if you had a nasty week, man, get rid of it on Saturday. Cleanse out your home. Take a relaxing bath, a cleansing bath with some salt in it. All right, so the second tip that I have for you all is that I personally ground and protect to start every single day and as needed throughout the day. But I am a morning shower person, so I tend to ground and protect right there in the shower. I will ground my energy. Well, first of all, I let the shower water run over me and cleanse away shit, because even though I've just woken up, I have a pretty extensive morning routine, which we'll get to in a second. So I cleanse away shit. I cleanse away stress. I cleanse away anxiety, and I'll, allow that to go down the drain. And then I will also ground my energy down into Avalon. And then I do visualize a protective bubble around me for my whole day. So I actually use the shower. It's multi-purpose for me. And when I get out of the shower, because I've used it also as an energetic practice, I feel so amazing. I feel freshly renewed no matter the type of morning I had, no matter the type of sleep that I had the night before. I feel really great. So then to further this, I always use a mist, some kind of mist, to further add energy to that protective bubble that I've visualized. And if I'm going to work, then it tends to be just a lighter mist. I have a scent that I purchased years ago in Sedona. I still have a big, huge bottle of it that I use every day. But if I'm going out, out in the world, if we're going somewhere, if I'm going grocery shopping, or I'm going to a place where I know there's going to be a lot of people, or we have a lot of errands to run and I know I'm just going to be out in the public, I 100% use our Witch's Shield Mist, and not to do a shameless plug, but to do a shameless plug. It was formulated, the products at Ink Goddess Creations were made by witches for witches. That's not just a fun tagline I throw around for the hell of it. I created the Witch's Shield Mist for strong protection. In fact, when I created it and first started using it, I used it for the gem show, because there are thousands of people that come into Tucson during the gem show in January and February. And that energy, along with the energy of all of these raw crystals, the gem show can be energetically overwhelming. And so the formula for the Witch's Shield spray was first created by me as a protective shield for the gem show. And then we ended up throwing it into a box at one point, and now it is still to this day one of our best-selling mists. So it's called the Witch's Shield Mist. It is a salt spray, so it has pink Himalayan salt in it. and then essential oils for protection and cleansing at the moment. And I really should have written it down. You would think that since I write things down, that I would have included that. I know it has clove in it. I think it's like clove and black pepper. And to be honest, I don't really remember the rest. Maybe amber. I feel like that might be right. Anyway, that's what it was created for. So if I'm going out in the world, I tend to use that. And it's just a way to fortify my shield that I've already visualized. It's a way to it furthers the visualization as well. Like you can picture something in your mind's eye, but if you're spraying yourself, if you're misting yourself, then you can feel the little droplets fall onto your skin and you can see them in the air, creating like this fortified bubble around you. And so it adds more even to just the visualization of the protective bubble that you've already done for yourself. Okay. I also tend to wear an oil that I blended for divine guidance every day, and I just will dab it on my pulse points. But those are all the ways that I cleanse, ground, and protect my energy on a daily basis. So the third thing that I have is my morning and evening routines are pretty tight. And if you're wondering, okay, how does this tap into Magick? Like, okay, Morgan's morning and night routines, like this is just like what I do every morning to get ready for my day and what I do every night to get ready for bed. Number one, it helps me practice mindfulness and be deeply present in the moment. So it's like I'm checking off all these boxes, making sure that I'm taking care of myself for the day. But in that moment, I'm 100% there and mindful of what I'm doing with my energy and how I'm setting myself up for either a successful day or a successful night of sleep. And then number two, rituals are a part of magic. And even if they're not necessarily magical rituals, any ritual will add that energy to you that helps you maintain your energetic flow. Okay. So anyone who has ever had toddlers knows that sometimes if you get out of order with their nighttime routine, they will flip the fuck out. Okay. We all have children inside of us. We all have an inner child. And at least for me, if I mess up my routine, sometimes my inner child freaks the fuck out. And I don't like that. I like to keep my inner child nice and calm. So for maintaining optimal energetic flow, that's another reason why I try to stick to my morning and my evening routines so much. My morning routine, I have to work out in the mornings or I won't work out at all that day. Once I've had my day, like Colin is an afternoon workout person. He likes to sleep in the morning. He can go through his whole day and then he gets home in the afternoon and he can go work out. I cannot. The minute I get home, I'm like done. I will do nerdy stuff. I will play my video game. I will talk on the phone with family members, friends. You know, I'm unwinding once we get home from work, or I'm working a little bit more and then unwinding. So if I don't work out in the morning, I don't work out that day. I also try and meditate. I definitely do my somatic movements. I think I've mentioned them in the past. I do lots of hip openers to release stagnant energy and shit from me. And it's really been helping me heal. It's been helping me regulate my emotions. It's been helping me regulate my nervous system. So I think I have talked about somatic movements and hip openers in a couple of podcast episodes, actually. So I try to do all of these in the morning. And yes, I am a morning person too. I have admitted that in a podcast episode. So I am up somewhere between 5:30 and 6 usually. If I'm not out of bed by 6:30, my cat comes and sits on me and gets right in my face. And he thinks he's whispering, but it comes out, very loud. So if I'm not out of bed by about 6:30, then yeah, Cass comes to me and is like, hey, you're not up. Are you dead? And then in the evening, this is going to sound crazy. So I try to get in bed 1 hour before I actually want to be asleep. And let me tell you, I am taking chamomile tea or some kind of sleepy time tea or something with me to bed. I sometimes light incense to further relax, and this doesn't even include like washing my face and brushing my teeth and all that shit. I try to limit my screen time for an hour before I go to bed, and then I tend to end my day with reading a book. These are all things that I do to ensure that I get sleep, restful sleep, because sleep is just as important as just about any other part of your day, especially if you have a dysregulated nervous system, or if you are working out, if you are trying to lose weight, if you are trying to live a healthier lifestyle, if you're trying to get your mental health in check. Sleep is the key. It really is. Do your own research, but sleep is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself on every level: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, because I think it's super fun to have fun dreams. I love seeing what I'm going to dream about at night. And so I love sleep. So that's my third thing. My fourth thing is that throughout the day, I do take grounding, mindful timeouts. Now, I understand I own my own business, so I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, which does include walking around the office barefoot. I can't stand shoes. The next thing above shoes, or the next thing above bare feet for me, would be slippers. I love a comfy slipper, and flip-flops. I will live in flip-flops, which is, I'm very grateful to live in Arizona, where I can wear flip-flops 350 days of the year, probably. So I don't like wearing shoes. I don't like wearing boots. They're horribly constricting to me. So I will walk around my office barefoot. I have a rug, a very fluffy rug that sits underneath my desk that I will, if I need that grounding energy, I will rub my bare feet on the rug and really practice that mindfulness, get that check in to my body, release stress, deep breathe. But I do know a lot of people who will take their lunch break and go outside and like stand barefoot in a patch of grass. And I love that. Or they'll take mindful walks during their lunch break. I love that. That's ways that you can take little tiny grounding, mindful breaks throughout your day. It really helps your mental health. But for me, it helps me spiritually as well, because I'm not only dropping into myself, but I'm regrounding my energy down into Avalon. I'm opening myself up to my guides. I am really taking that time to be like, okay, de-stress, but also mentally prepare for the second half of the day, or for whatever else I have to do to get through this day or to get done in this day. Okay. Some other things that I do to just keep my energy grounded and balanced throughout the day. I learned it is a somatic technique. So there's one called the butterfly, where you basically put your palms of your hands up in front of your chest, okay, with your palms of your hands facing your chest, and then move your hands to where your two thumbs touch in the middle. So you're making like a butterfly, and your thumbs are the butterfly's head, okay? And then you're using your fingertips or the wings of the butterfly to just tap lightly on your chest. This is a somatic technique that actually helps you de-stress, especially if you're having a panic attack or your mind is starting to really race. This brings you back, this tapping on your chest brings you back into your body, okay? Here's a fun fact for you all. If you're sitting there doing it, you're like, oh, the little butterfly, and you're tapping your hands, your fingertips onto your chest, like as if you were fluttering the butterfly wings, then I am very proud of you, because I am not coordinated enough to do that. It fries my brain. So there's a fun little tidbit for you. I cannot perform the butterfly self-soothing technique. So what I have done in its place is I will just tap with my fingertips on my upper chest. So in between my collarbone and like my boobs, that's place right there. I will just tap on it to bring myself back into my body. But I will also kind of like do these very soft strokes from my collarbone down with my fingertips, and just constantly over and over and over again. That soothes me so much. That practice, that exercise just soothes me and calms me down a lot, but it puts me back in my body. It makes me mindful. I take a couple of deep breaths during it, and it really just brings my energy back into myself so that I can be like, okay, whew, all right, we were a little bit stressed, we were a little bit frantic, a little bit chaotic. Now I'm back within myself. Now I can move forward. And in these moments too, super important, I do express my gratitude. So even if it's just thank you for this 5 seconds of calming, thank you for, it's a thank you to myself as well. So I even thank myself for taking the time to take a time out, if that makes sense. But I'm also just expressing my gratitude for the little time out, for the ability to self-soothe, for the ability to emotionally regulate, and for that moment to be able to put myself back together so I can move forward. And then the fifth tip that I have for you all that I do every day is gemstones are always found in my pocket, in my bra, just on me, on my desk. I wear jewelry. Jewelry is a really easy way to have those gemstone properties with you. But I choose gemstones every day depending on the energy that I want for that day. But I do have go-tos. For me personally, fluorite is what I use for focus. So if I really have a lot of work to do in a day, I will tend to grab a piece of fluorite, put it in my pocket or put it in my bra. I use labradorite for magic. So if I'm really having a day where I'm either going to be teaching a class and I really want to feel magical, or if we're going to be trying to come up with new products here, like new magical kits or something, then I try to have a piece of labradorite on me. And then for me personally, morganite is my personal power stone because of my name. So I do have a bracelet of morganite that I tend to wear pretty frequently. So jewelry is a really easy way to incorporate gemstones. That way you're wearing a bracelet, you're wearing earrings, you're wearing a necklace of that gemstone. But tumbled stones in the bra or in the pocket work just as well, honestly. So that's what I have for you all today. There were 5 of my daily magical practices. This does correspond to this month's Ink Goddess Creations box, which is themed Seize the Magical Day, or Carpe Magicus Diem, which is Latin for Seize the Magical Day. This was a customer requested box. They really wanted a daily magic box, how to incorporate magic into their everyday lives. And we listened and we pulled together something I think is pretty amazing. That there are some sneak peeks out there, including our daily energy deck, which we did design for this box. So that's exclusive to us. There's also going to be a mist in there. And then there's going to be a little wooden manifestation box. Those are the 3 sneak peeks we've sent out. So it's just filled with unique items to help you just tap into magic daily and do it super easily. Like there's nothing easier than just spraying a mist on you before you leave the house, So that's what June's theme is. The boxes are on sale through June 1st or until we sell out, whichever one comes first. We did sell out of May's box. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, I do recommend that you get your order in sooner rather than later. So you can head to inkedgoddesscreations.com, and anywhere there, whether you're on our app or you're on the website, you'll see the banner for Seize the Magical Day. You can click it, and that way you can see the sneak peeks. And then we have anything from a one-time purchase box to where if you just want to try out this month's theme and you don't have to worry about it recurring, you can do that, all the way up to a recurring 6-month subscription, which saves you a little bit on the price of buying the box every month. But if you do a subscription, then you're guaranteed to get a box, even if we do sell out 1 month. As long as your subscription successfully renews, you have a box even if we've sold out. So that's why a recurring subscription is a really good way to go. But yeah, to read about the box, the theme, and then really look at the sneak peeks, you can head to inkedgoddesscreations.com and just look for that Ink Goddess Creations box banner or the link in the top menu. So I want to thank you all for being here and for giving me a platform to share my knowledge and share everything. I do want to take a second to, I'm going to cry, you guys. that's how quickly I can turn from like being serious to I want to say something really personal and like, bam, tears. I want to say thank you to Mindy, who recently left us an amazing review for the Ink Spirit Coven. But she started out within her review of the Ink Spirit Coven by saying she found me on the podcast and how much the podcast has helped her. I printed your review out, Mindy, and it went on our wall here at the shop because it meant so much to me to know what the podcast has done for you and how it's helped you. And then knowing that, you came over to the coven, and I'm super grateful for that as well. But I just wanted to say thank you that I did read your review and shared it around to everybody in the office, and it got printed out and put on our wall so I can look at it all the time. So super, super grateful for you, Mindy. Thank you for your review. But yeah, emotions, they're fun. All right, you guys. I will see you all next week. Be magical, incorporate some daily magical practices, and hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what you found helpful from this episode. Let me know your daily magical practices as well. There will always be a soundbite reels, either here or on TikTok. And that way you can communicate with me and let me know what you found helpful or what you do and what you do for your daily magical practice that maybe, other listeners can see and be like, I love that. Or I could be like, ooh, I want to try that and add it to mine. So yeah, I will see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.